Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charity, and if it's your first time here, you're watching Booked on Charity. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my December book haul. So I've accumulated about 12 books at this point, and I've got some books that were sent to me by Jonathan Ball Publishers, Pan Macmillan, Penguin Random House, as well as a gifted book from a friend. So without further ado, let's get into this video. The first book stack I have is from the wonderful people at Penguin Random House, and they sent me the following books. First of all is the sequel to Skin of the Deep, and this one is called Soul of the Deep by Natasha Bowen. This is a YA fantasy series that is following mermaids whose job is to save the souls of the people being thrown overboard, basically from slave ships. And until one day, instead of like helping one of the souls actually, move on to the next life or afterlife or whatever, I think this one mermaid called the Mummy Water, they called them the Mummy Water, they decided to actually save them. And I don't know what happens after that. I have a feeling that there might be a romance in here. I haven't yet read the first book, but now that I have the second book, I'm even more enticed to actually pick both of them up very soon. The next book they sent me is Why We Meditate, and this is by Daniel Goleman and Tsoknyi Rinpoche, I think that's how you say it. It says 7 simple practices for a calmer mind. And if you guys have been on my channel for a while, or if you even watch my wellness monthly reset, I talk a lot about getting into meditation and talk about wellness, and obviously meditating, yoga, those type of things is something that I really want to get into. And when I saw this book, I requested it because I'm like, okay, this might actually help me on this journey. So it's the kind of book that I will be going through in like bits and pieces, because I will probably be reading what is relevant for me in that moment, and I'll probably put it down and then go back to it. So it's not the kind of book that I would sit down and want to read and complete all in one go. I feel like there are things that I would need to go in and read whenever I feel the need to. So the first thing is they talk about is what this book offers you. So I guess it will explain what to expect from the book. And then there's a chapter, well, I guess, is it a chapter called Drop It? And then there's Belly Breathing, Beautiful Monsters, Essence Love, Love and Compassion, Calm and Clear, a deeper look within, and then an epilogue with some final advice. So I think this is something that I'm definitely going to be using, especially when I'm on this journey of wellness and getting into meditation and yoga and all-rounded health. The final book they sent me is Michelle Obama's new book, The Light We Carry, and this says Overcoming in Uncertain Times. So I absolutely loved Michelle's first book to a point that I actually read it twice, and so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I feel like this is also going to be another one that I guess maybe depending on how the book goes, I might want to go through and read it all and finish it all at once, or it's something that I might want to take in bits and pieces, maybe like kind of like meditate over what I've read. So yeah, I'm expecting it to be good. This one is not as big as the first one, so it shouldn't take that long to read. The next 2 books I have been sent to me by the wonderful people at Jonathan Ball Publishers. And firstly, they sent me Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which happens to be one of the books that were on my most anticipated releases for 2022, and I know book 2 is already out, and I definitely, this is literally my next read when I'm done with my current read, which I'm about less than 100 pages to go. So in this book we follow a main character called Xinjing, and she was raised on the moon. The emperor went and exiled her mom from stealing the elixir of immortality, and she goes on this quest to try and save her mom, to a point where she ends up working and training alongside the emperor's son, and I feel like there's probably going to be a romance element to this. But I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the magic system. I've heard really amazing things about this book, so yeah, picking this one up like probably in this week still. The next book they sent me is the new book from Chloe Gong, and it's called Flower Lily Fortune. This is the same author that wrote These Violent Delights, and I hear that this book is essentially kind of like a spin-off of that series following the main character, who was a side character, I believe, in the first series. I have not read the first series, and I would like to get straight into this one without reading it, and I don't know if that is a good idea or not. If you have read the first series and maybe have also picked up this book, please let me know in the comments down below if I can go straight into this one without going into reading the trilogy, or do I first have to go read the trilogy before I actually get into this one. Ooh, I forgot there's a third one that Jonathan Paul sent me, and it's this beautiful children's book, and it's called Meanwhile Back on Earth. The illustrations are absolutely stunning. I love everything about it. The end papers, it's constellations and planets. I mean, it's beautiful. This is one for the hardcover looks like, and it's got all this detailing in it, and I just want to just show you what oh, I didn't even notice that there's kind of like stenciled stars all over the place. They just in the color of the actual book, so you don't see them, but here's all the planets, there's the vehicle that they're traveling in. I just want to see, I love books like this that are like kind of quirky, funny. This is kind of like what the illustrations look like, and I think it's really nice. I think it might be like a little fun to actually read it and look at the graphics as well. Like, I find it interesting how the authors and illustrators of these kind of books will like tell a story through pictures, and I love that. I absolutely love that. Looking forward to reading this one with my daughter. The next 4 books I have were sent to me by the wonderful people at Pan Macmillan, and first of all, they sent me Before Your Memory Fades, and this is by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, who is the best-selling author of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This is another hardback. The naked cover is just this blue with the text on it, but I love a hardback, you guys. I love hardback covers because they look so pretty on the shelf. You don't always get that cracked spine that you sometimes get with paperback, so depending on how they bound the book, you are able to just, you know, have a book that still looks intact when you're done. I'm guessing this is the author. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. This is the 3rd book in the series. I have Before the Coffee Gets Cold, as well as the Before the Coffee Gets Cold Tales from, what is the actual title? I'll put them up here, but I actually have them saved on my SCRIBD, and they are in a queue for me to listen to them after I'm done on my thriller binge. The next book they sent me is thriller, and this one is called The Blame Game. So it's your word against mine. This is by Sandy Jones, and at the back it says there are 2 sides of every story. He came to me for help with his marriage. I was alone and afraid. She was there when I needed to talk. I needed to make him understand that he had to get away. I knew what I needed to do. I just couldn't do it on my own. I trusted her. Now it has gone too far, and I can't tell anyone what I've done. Now I have nowhere to turn, and I just pray they find me before she does. And then at the bottom it says, and then there's the truth. I love it. I think I'm gonna have an amazing time reading this. I feel like the books that I've been receiving from Pan that are thrillers have been so good. They've been so good. And when I read the synopsis of this one, I'm like, okay, this sounds very interesting, and I'm looking forward to reading it. I just love the end that it says, and then there's the truth. So like, there's two sides of the story, and then there's the truth. The next book that I got from them was also another anticipated releases for me, because I absolutely enjoyed the first book in the series, and that is the Atlas Paradox, which is book 2 of the Atlas. What is the name of the series actually? Okay, it's called the Atlas Trilogy. I didn't even know it was a trilogy, but I've read the Atlas 6 and I absolutely loved it. And now I've got this one, which is also now on a queue for me to read as soon as I'm done with Daughter of the Moon Goddess. And I absolutely love these covers. They have stunning covers, and I know the special editions, even more gorgeous if I can get my hands on them. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the story. This is dark academia story following 6 students who were selected to be part of this prestigious Alexandrian society, where they will go through tests and whatever, and at the end of it only 5 will go through, right? One of them will be eliminated. But there's a lot more things that happen in it, and in the first book it was more character based than it was plot based. So we're hearing a lot from the characters, and we're seeing them build on their powers and learn how their powers work. And at the end there was a very nice twist, which I'm trying to see how the author is going to pick up the story from here on out. The final book that they sent me is by the same author, and it's called Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. And this one is a love story, because I loved the Atlases. I'm like, I'm gonna get this right. So it says Alone with You in the Ether is a contemporary love story like no other. Regan and Aldo allow us to explore the nature of love, what it means to be unwell, and how to face the fractures of ourselves and still love as if we are not broken. I feel like it's gonna be one of those that's very relatable. Look at this cover. This is a hardback. Isn't this gorgeous? Isn't this stunning? Like, Olivia Blake's books are absolutely gorgeous, but that's not all. We've got sprayed edges. What It's absolutely stunning. The naked hardback is just this creamy color, and over on the spine it's gold lettering. Both of these books have been published by Tor, and I think at this point Olivia Blake's books are going to be published by Tor. And I loved everything that I've read that have been published by Tor so far. So I'm a big fan of what Tor is doing and the kind of authors that they work with, and I just can't wait to read more books that are published by them. The next book I have is Turning Tables, and this is by a new upcoming author called Alice Takawira. And it says you don't know what you've got till it's gone. So this is a romance, right? But I believe that there's a mystery to it, as well as maybe a thriller element. And at the back it says 2 lovers, 2 continents, 2 cultures, 1 unforgettable love story. So the main character is a Zimbabwean graduate who has returned to London on a summer break with one goal: to get back to Ade, her Nigerian ex-boyfriend, after callously breaking his heart. On the flight to London, she meets Chris, a British gentleman who is instantly captivated by Maida and pursues her relentlessly. I'm like, Maida, also, what are you doing? What are you doing, sis? Because you had a goal, right? You had a goal. So it says when Ade rejects Maida's attempt to rekindle their romance, she turns to Chris, and as a couple, they are forced to confront racism, complexities of an interracial relationship, and their insecurities. It goes on, but I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it, but this says Turning Tables is a poignant and extraordinary story of love, missed opportunities, and second chances. So I'm looking forward to picking this one up in this month still. The final book that I have on this book haul, I'm so excited for. It's been on my TBR or to be bought on my TBB. It's been on my to be bought list for the longest time, and I've heard not even a single bad thing about this book. Not even a single bad thing. And you know, when you have a book that's just like so loved, it gives you kind of like a nervousness, because you're like, I also want to love it. What if I don't love it? You know? But that is Legend Born by Tracy Dion, and this book was kindly gifted to me by my friend Katleho from the channel Just Katleho, and we plan on buddy reading this one together. So I am looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. People are like obsessing over this book. Book 2 is already out. It came out, I think, in November, but I don't feel like I've seen a lot of reviews. I'm not sure how it's faring compared to this book, but what I know is that there's things that are hinted in book 1 that get revealed in book 2. So luckily for me, book 2 is already out, so if I'm done with this, I can literally go and get book 2 and continue with the story without having that huge break and forgetting details. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Legend Born, and this is the final book at my book haul. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to hit the like button down below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and remember to share this video with your friends and family, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.